Hey there, friend. Welcome to another episode of the Content System for Growth podcast. This is the episode for you. If you've been juggling demands of running a small online business, taking care of your family, and trying to create consistent organic content. A strategic planning day isn't just a nice to have as a small business owner, it's a non-negotiable, friend, if you're serious about scaling your business and reclaiming your time. Let's go ahead and dive into the 5 steps for a successful strategic planning process. Why would you need to have a strategic planning day process? Your business growth depends on strategic thinking, and your calendar should include a strategic planning day if you're serious about your business success. Done quarterly, this focus time allows you to step into your CEO shoes. I think you'll agree with me when I say that business leaders set aside time for strategic planning. And if you're anything like me, you're juggling a million things simultaneously, trying to keep the wheels on the bus, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, you're falling into bed, completely exhausted from running your online business, taking care of your family, and creating all that consistent organic content marketing, plus taking care of your clients. It's a lot. But here's the good news, friend. You're not alone, and the solution to dedicate time to your strategic direction is so critical. As my work as an online business manager, I've helped business owners set up a strategic planning process that actually drives real results. I set aside time with the owner every quarter for a business strategy meeting. I understand that your small company may not be ready for a dedicated OBM as one of your team members. With that in mind, I've created my most popular free resource, and it's a planning workbook. It's like a one-day strategy meeting in a box. It's 50 full pages. It's so valuable because it's chocked full of all the prompts you need so that you can do your very own strategy planning in your business. And with that workbook, you can create a repeatable strategy that you can do every single quarter. Please feel free to go ahead and download the workbook. I'll put the link down below in the show notes, friend. Okay, before we get started, I want to ensure that you're setting yourself up for success. So go ahead and turn off those notifications, close any unnecessary browsers, and silence that phone. This is time to focus solely on your business. What's the first step? Step number 1 to a successful quarterly planning meeting is reflection. The best way to know if you're headed in the right direction with your business goals is through reflection. It's amazing the information that you can gather by taking that step back so that you can actually move forward in your business. I don't think you need to spend an exorbitant amount of time doing this, maybe 15-20 minutes with your journal and reflecting. These are the things that I want you to journal on. What has worked well for you? What areas do you feel need improvement? And what lessons did you learn? The good, the bad, and the ugly in your business in this past quarter. And while you have your journal, let's go ahead and do a self-assessment. These are the 8 areas that I have, but feel free to change them as you need for yourself and your business and your family. But on a scale of 1 to 10, of course, 10 being you're the most happiest in this area, I want you to rate your money, your personal growth, self-care, and I bucket that with your mind, body, spirit, family and friends, love and relationship, you time, like your fun and leisure time, your home environment, and of course, your business. Number 2 is to revisit and realign your vision. Your vision is the North Star of your strategic planning day. I want you to read it aloud and ask yourself, are you still in line with that current vision? Does it still invoke that feeling of happiness, pride, and achievement? And what needs to be adjusted? And of course, if that vision no longer excites you or motivates you, this is your opportunity to redefine it. At one point in my business, I was ashamed to actually pivot. However, now I embrace this as God's nudge for me to move down a different path. You can do the same thing for yourself. Step 3 is be smart with your strategic goals. What strategic goals did you set up for your last strategy day that you had? I'm curious. Were you able to actually reach that desired outcome that you've set for yourself in the past quarter? Now get down to the nitty-gritty with your goals, and I want you to break them into 3 categories. Like, what's your 1-year goal? I want you to think big, like financial milestones here. Your 90-day goals, so the smaller objectives that contribute to that 1 year goal that you have, and your 30-day focus, so the immediate actions to propel your business forward. And I want you to break that vision into actionable goals. Think of this as your top 3 business goals, personal and financial goals, and what you're fully committed to achieving. How to turn that commitment into results is what you want to think about. Have you ever read the book, The 12-Week Year? This approach allows you to accomplish more in less time by focusing on 12-week cycles instead of traditional annual goals. The idea is to treat each 12 weeks as a full year because that will increase the urgency and execution because that time frame is so much closer to getting done and you don't feel like you have so much time to accomplish it. And this works great, for those people that 1 year vision just does not work for them and they lose complete steam. Some people have absolutely no issue reaching those 1 year goals, but not all of us are wired like that. And we do lose steam and we get uninspired by those goals. When we break them down into 12-week cycles, it's so much easier to try and hit that goal when you set up weekly sprints or 2-week sprints, I think it is, actually in the book. And your goals break down, like I said, your 1 year goal is that big picture milestone. Your 90-day goal is the quarterly objectives that feed into your 1 year goal. And your 30-day focus, immediate steps to move that business forward. And then your 12-week sprints. So a focused plan to drive and bring that real momentum in that short time frame. Always step back and ask yourself, are you committed to achieving this? I want you to identify what you are committed to 100%. Because without that commitment, you may struggle to take the next step and actually get it done. You have to really want it in order to make sure that you achieve it. Do you want to know why I believe so strongly in the question of true commitment? It's because I found myself chasing somebody else's dream for my life. I'm sure you can guess how that turned out for me. Maybe you're like me and you doubt your vision for your life, and somehow following somebody else's dream felt a little less scary. It always comes down to that fear. But remember, friends, God puts dreams on our hearts for us to follow. I think almost as a way to challenge us to release the outcome into His hands. Step number 4 is to commit and break down the plan. Plan is only as good as its execution. When you break down your goals into action plans, using the best practices for actionable steps, assigning the responsibility, and of course the deadline. This is where your commitment comes into play. Without it, even the best laid plans can fall apart. Have you ever broken down a goal into actionable steps, or are you more of a winger? Trust me, I wing with the best of them, but the things that truly matter are better off with a plan. In step 4, you are actually mapping it all out. This is where all your creative thinking meets your strategic execution. It's where you make the strategic decisions, making sure that you achieve those goals. You sit down and you map out your goals. And every one of us will do this differently. Some need to do it on pen and paper. Others would love to do it in an Excel spreadsheet. Some do it in a project management system. But you need to find the system that's actually going to work for you and the way that you can map things out easily. I also do have an episode on mind mapping your goals, and that might be something that you need as well. I'll go ahead and put the link down below in the show notes for that episode as well. When you're doing this, you're going to sit down and do a whole mind sweep of every step you think you must do to achieve the goal. And once you have them all out of your mind, then you're going to map it out with who's responsible for it, the time frame, the order in which they need to happen. And suppose it's only you and your business, well, then I guess it'll be easy to know who is the person who will be doing the work. But you also need to look at the time in the actual time bank to get everything done. We tend to underestimate the work and the time something will take to get done. So make sure to give yourself grace, friends. To create your time, you must figure out how much time you'll actually be working on it. So what I want you to do is pull out your calendar and actually determine how many days you'll be in the office over these next 12 weeks. What days will your kiddos be home? Because they might be off on a random day. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to all of those must-attend kid events, what holidays are upcoming, all of those things. Then you need to be able to reverse engineer from the end date to ensure that you have enough time to get all the items done to make that a real goal. The important dates that I have for mapping out are vacation days, important kid events, no school days, holidays, and any other days out of the office that you will not be there. Because that's going to give you a really good idea of how many hours that you're going to have to be able to dedicate to this or commit to your goals. And remember, don't forget to include creating your content, running your business, all of the other things, working with your clients. We got to make sure that we're putting that billable work first. So know how much time you have to dedicate to making your strategic plan a reality. And you may have more than one goal that you want to achieve in a quarter. However, I want you to focus on one goal at a time. Focus on building one bridge at a time and not multiple. I've also referred to this as your marathon. You wouldn't run 2 marathons at a time, so why should you try and achieve 2 goals at a time? Why? You only have a finite amount of time and energy, and a great way to add stress, overwhelm, and anxiety is by thinking it's a good idea, let's say, to maybe remodel your house while you're prepping and executing a new course to launch. Down below, also in the show notes, is a link to the blog post that goes along with this episode. And in there, I have an image of an Asana board for goals and quarterly planning. So you can take a look at the categories that I have set up in that actual goal planning process. And number 5 is your content calendar and beyond. While not directly related to your strategic planning, your content calendar is critical to the long-term organic marketing of your business. I want you to plan out your content for the next 3 months, week by week. This will help you stay consistent while keeping your content aligned with your revenue goals and your strategic objectives. You want to make sure that you're leading people down the path. So if you know in 3 months after this, you're going to be having some sort of launch, you want your content to be leading up to that, building up your email list. So when you do launch your product, you have a nice bucket of people that are interested in what you have coming up or what you are selling. And friends, don't forget to track your numbers. If you do not already have a strategic metric tracker in place, get it going, because what you measure gets improved. So here are a few ideas of the metrics that you may want to track on a monthly basis: your website traffic, email subscribers, social media engagement, number of clients you have, number of leads, and your number of sales. Okay, friends, it's time to wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time and listening. And if you found this valuable, I ask that you forward this to your business bestie and leave me a 5-star review. That helps me reach more people just like you. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.